think that our club now is celebrating its 150th anniversary. That's an amazing thought of the thousands of people who've played for this club. And so many lads have gone on to be international players that played for Middlesbrough. It's like a constant conveyor belt of top quality players. We must be the envy of all the clubs in Yorkshire and the north of England, the amount of players at high level that have come from Middlesbrough background. Because we all have great respect for this club and the people who run it, and we all think back to our forefathers and all the respect we've got for them. They've set the tradition, they've set the standards, and with all our passion and commitment, we hope to honour them.
I was born in Middlesbrough, and I lived in Middlesbrough for the first 17 to 18 years of my life. I was a soccer player at my junior school, and when we transferred to the grammar school, I was immediately introduced to rugby. And unlike some people who objected to playing rugby, I took it on, and then I developed as we got into playing into the 5th and 6th form at school, started playing for the Colts here. And I actually happened to hit a very productive period for Middlesbrough Colts because of the team that I played in. I think there would be 7 or 8 of them made Middlesbrough first team before I did. The likes of David Schofield, Alan Little, Ian McWilliams, Jimmy Robinson, Jeff Newton, Dave Tweddle, Keith Phelps. They all played in Middlesbrough first team before I did.
I joined Middlesbrough in 1976. Seems a long time ago now. The club had just recently won the Yorkshire Cup and Middlesbrough was on the map. I started as a player, came from Redcar and played in the first team probably nearly 400 times. During that time played England under 23s, went on tour to France and Italy with the England under 23 side, played 20 sometimes for Yorkshire and 1 or 2 as captain. I was fortunate at the age of 22 to be picked to play against Cumbria in my first game. And along with 3 or 4 other Middlesbrough players who were long established, second rows, Tom Jones, Dave White, Bert Robinson, Jimmy Robinson. There was a number of us who were all representing the county.
My very first game for Middlesbrough was for the Extra Bs. Harry Allen was our foreman at Redpath Offshore, where we worked, my brother Dougie and I. And he approached us one day and said, "Oh, you big lads must play rugby." He said, "We need some second rows for our Extra B team. Do you fancy coming down on Saturday to play?" We came down. I think it was played at Tollsby on a Saturday afternoon. And we met Ian Horton, Richard Ward, Brian Sexton, all stalwarts of the club, all in the very latter years of their career. And from the moment we met everybody, we fit right in.
On final score on grandstand, when they put the football scores up, every now and then the rugby scores would come up there, and I'd see Middlesbrough come up there every now and then. So suddenly I was playing for a team that actually got onto national TV. So to me that was absolutely incredible. It was a step up, obviously, from playing from schoolboy rugby and then playing with men, because I was 16 at the time. Very welcoming, absolutely welcoming. It was that's why I played and stayed with the club. I think it was 3 games, and then I was picked to play for the first team. So the people that influenced me earlier on when I first joined the club was Mike Wright, who was captain at the time, Bernie Coyne, who became captain very quickly after that, Dave Waddington and Derek Laidlaw, the 2 who I played quite a lot of games with in the centre at the time. And so those 5 years, I think for me, without a doubt, were very pivotal in shaped me as a rugby player, moving from playing schoolboy rugby into senior rugby. Without a doubt, it shaped me as an individual, as a person, moving into that stage. because I lost my father when I was 18. So during that time, you could argue, all the guys that were there became sort of like my father figures.
From a Middlesbrough Rugby Club point of view, the future's the most important part of the club. As much as we're celebrating 150 years of heritage, we would like for it to be another 150 years, and for that to happen, we've got to maintain and continue the success of our junior section.
There's lads like myself who came through the junior section, have a lot of pride in pulling on that first team shirt for the first time, and again it's making sure that the future generations who come through the junior section have that opportunity as well, to play for the rugby club at as a higher level as possible.
I first started playing rugby at Middlesbrough when I was four years old.
I started playing rugby because I was watching my brother and my dad playing, and I said to my dad, can I play rugby as well?
My ambitions of playing rugby is to play for Middlesbrough first team because my family have played for the first team. My dad, Lee Richardson, has played for the first team, as well as my uncle David, my uncle Sean, and my granddad Stuart.
It's very odd being the only girl because it's like I'm tackling boys and I'm not really used to tackling boys, but they're always nice to me. I'd like to encourage more girls to come play because rugby is a sport for girls and boys, not just boys.
Our team are good friends. We're like friends off the pitch and on the pitch.
Middlesbrough Club had that supportive network in my day. I'm sure it does now. When you look at the youngsters playing the game and through the levels, they nurture, create the interest, but ensure that the spirit and the values of rugby are maintained.
When I joined the club, it was as any of us as a child growing up into an adult. At formative years, it has a big impact on who you are as a person and sort of shapes the way you move on. Without a doubt, Middlesbrough Rugby Club and the Air Force, the two things together, shaped who I am as a person now. And I've never forgotten it.
The sense of the pride and the passion and everything just like flows through you almost. You get people turning up to the game regularly, week in, week out, scoring a try, looking over to the sideline. You've got the same 50 people watching the game, clapping, cheering you on. It fills you with joy. Those people who've played in that first team pitch before you, people that I look up to as legends in my eyes, legends of the game, legends of Middlesbrough Rugby Club. Rory Underwood, playing in the same position that I played for in the club, wearing that same number shirt that I have on my back. To be able to be part of the club that those legends have been part of. The likes of the youth section coming through after me. I've got a young son and I just love for him to be part of the Middlesbrough Rugby Club future. You want people to walk past your name and think, he plays for Middlesbrough first team. Being able to go to work with family and friends outside of the club and tell them I play for Middlesbrough Rugby Club.
All the lads in the change room before a game on a Saturday, always motivated for a game. The passion, the desire, the talk about the pride of the badge on the shirt, playing for the badge, playing for each other. It's always there in the change room every single game on a Saturday, and after a game joy when everyone wins and that camaraderie when we all get together, have a chat, say well done, even if win or lose, to be honest. Yeah, it's special, special.
As someone who played in the centenary game in 1972, and it's a very clear memory, and I can still see us out there and almost picture the photograph of the two teams playing together. I think it's a wonderful thing to have achieved 150 years.
Can we push boundaries and move forward and go up the leagues? Definitely. But we're a community club, and that's another aspect of Middlesbrough. Everyone's welcome. In the next 150 years, hopefully as good as the previous 150 years. We would all be very happy to see that.
When I think back to my time at Middlesbrough, it only has, seriously, I have got 100% only fond memories of my time at Middlesbrough in everything, every facet of the club.
Long may we see a Middlesbrough Rugby Club here, so that I can keep looking. First thing, every Saturday I'll look for the results of Middlesbrough, Sheffield, Morpeth and Leicester, the four teams that I played. I always look for them.
If I reflect on what I've got out of my time at this club and where I've got to, which I know the two are linked, if anybody else can go on any little sort of small percentage of helping them get through life in whatever they want to do, whether it's in sport, rugby, being an adult, if that can happen for the next 150 years until we get to our 300th anniversary, then from my perspective it will be a massive success.
Middlesbrough was my first club. I owe everything to Middlesbrough Club.